It is time for a segment we like to call Fantasy or Reality here on TSN as we welcome Mike Johnson in. A good place to start with Connor McDavid, the newest member of the 1K Point Club. Feels like this is a timely statement now, MJ, because before he retires, McDavid will become only the second NHLer ever to record 2,000 points. Is that fantasy or reality?
That's got to be reality, Laura. Clearly, as Leon Draisaitl said, if not McDavid, who could ever put up that many points? But when you start thinking about the numbers, it kind of makes sense because by the end of this year, he's got 1,000 now. He's going to get about another 100 points this year. So let's say he gets around 1,100 points by the end of the year. He's got to sign an 8-year extension. He'll need about 112 points per season over those 8 years to get to 2,000. And I think the way that Connor McDavid is driven, the way he's wired, the advances in training, the kind of player that he is, the kind of body that he carries, every reason to believe that he will age gracefully. So long as he stays healthy and is motivated to play another 8 years, I think it is far more likely than not that he gets to 2,000 and then some, becomes the second leading scorer in the history of the NHL. He'll pass Jaromir Jagr at some point. He won't catch Gretz, but it'll be second to him all time. And
you said it. As long as he can stay healthy, he is right there in the conversation. All right, well, only 2 active goaltenders have more than 1 Vezina in their trophy case, Sergei Bobrovsky, Connor Hellebuyck. And based on what we've seen from Hellebuyck out of the gate this season, he is a lock to become the first active goaltender with 3. Is that fantasy, MJ, or is that reality?
That's a fantasy. A lock. I mean, that's probably a fantasy to say it's a lock. If it ended today, yes, absolutely give it to him. And he's the favorite for sure. He's probably the best goal. He's playing on the best team, so why wouldn't you say that? But a lock means he's going to get it no matter what. And I see 2 remote possibilities where he could maybe not get another Vezina. One would be an upstart goaltender like a Philip Gustafsson or maybe an Anthony Stolarz who going a great run and leads their team to a really high spot in the standings, and maybe that can chip away. Or if Shesterkin goes on a great one with the Rangers and leads that team to maybe a division title. And what would hurt Connor Hellebuyck is not his own individual excellence, because that is clearly established, and he's done it this year, he's done it in years past. It's the fact that the Winnipeg Jets are that good. For him to put up these kind of numbers, as great as he is, he might not have to do as much as a Shesterkin might have to do in New York. And if the numbers are comparable, voters might side with a guy who has to do a little bit more because their team's not quite as good. Hellebuyck might be hurt because the Jets are almost too good, maybe if someone is close to him. But yes, he is the favorite, and he should be.
And MJ, an important lesson. You listen to the question, lock. Lock got us locked up there. This is the Connor edition of Fantasy versus Reality, because now we're going to talk about Connor Bedard, who entered the league with lofty expectations. The next big thing is sophomore season, though, off to a slow start. Only 3 goals so far in 17 games. Bedard has been underwhelming so far, MJ. Is that fantasy or reality?
That's a reality, and that's a function of the very high expectations that you just alluded to. He was supposed to be the next great scorer in the NHL, and that meant goal scorer, not just point producer. And while he's still been good, 13 points in 17 games, the 3 goals is difficult. No goals in his last 8 games. These are numbers and stretches that you would not expect him to have, no matter what team he's playing on, the Blackhawks or otherwise. So yes, it has been a bit of a disappointing or quieter start for him based on what you thought it might be a second-year extravaganza, the year where he pops and gets 40-plus goals and gets near 100 points, because that's how great his talent is. And the other part about it is right now Chicago is, by points percentage, the 30th best team in the league. 3rd worst right now with the Blackhawks. So not only is he not scoring, he's not leading his team to great on-ice success as a group either. So he is disappointed. He is frustrated. I would not expect him to keep up this pace for long. He'll get better. He'll get more productive. But right now, yeah, it's been just okay for Connor Bedard to start.
There's a reason they call it the sophomore slump, and there's a reason we call it fantasy or reality. Thanks for doing this, Mike.